I'm lucky enough to live in Oxford, one of the most beautiful cities in the south of England. But just occasionally, I long to head off somewhere new. Where this time? Ah, yes, Jordan. Perfect. One of the weirdest things about this expanse of water is that nothing lives in it. No fish, no plants, nothing. And that's why it's known as the Dead Sea. At 400 meters below sea level, it's the lowest place on Earth. Your average sea has about 4% salinity, but the Dead Sea has an astonishing 30% salt in it, which is why nothing survives at all. Still, on the plus side, the salts and the minerals have incredible healing properties, very good in cosmetics as well. In fact, King Herod himself used to come for a quick dip here. Queen Cleopatra couldn't get enough of it. And that, I think, is a good enough recommendation for us, isn't it? You can see this breathtaking cinemascope view of the Dead Sea from the terrace of the Panorama Complex, home to the Dead Sea Museum. Managed by Jordan's Royal Society for the Conservation of Nature, this stylish museum is jam-packed with information on the Dead Sea's history, including its ecology and its unique chemistry. For the amateur geologist, there's a brilliant display of rock formations, but most arresting are the stark reminders of the issues Jordan faces with its water supply. So much of the water flowing through the River Jordan has been diverted for agriculture, industry and drinking water, that none now flows into the Dead Sea, where the water level is dropping by an astonishing 1 metre every year. Within a few hundred years, the Dead Sea may have disappeared completely. Right, enough education. It's time for Hanan and I to try out the pharmaceutical qualities of the Dead Sea mud, which enticed Queen Cleopatra all those years ago. The Zara Spa in our hotel is reputed to be one of the best Dead Sea spas in Jordan. It's close to the water's edge, so there should be plenty of mud to go round. Hanan and I are greeted by Anna, who takes us to be towelled and gowned. Once suitably attired, we shuffle into the tranquility room.
God, this is very, very tranquil. I feel like I ought to be whispering all the time. But before I go into a complete silence, what are we actually going to have today?
Well, we're going to start out with your treatments. So, Sophie, you're going to be experiencing the mud facial, the Dead Sea mud facial. And Hanan, you're going to be doing the salt scrub and the Dead Sea body wrap for today.
That's fabulous. Before I actually go and have it all plastered over me, can you just explain what it is about Dead Sea mud and Dead Sea salt that is so good?
First of all, it's natural, obviously. And then it has to do with all the qualities of minerals inside the mud. Obviously going to help you soothe your skin and detoxify. These are the top two ones. This is the value that they see in it, yes.
Excellent. Well, are we ready?
Yes, of course.
It's the parting of the ways. Beautification and detoxification, here we come. The big question is, will we recognize each other after our muddy transformations? Time alone will tell.
Well, I'm already feeling very relaxed.
Yeah.
But Sonny, what's the first thing you're going to do?
So the first I would like to remove all the makeup at your face to clean everything. Your makeup.
Nice.
Sonny, my beautician, has angelically soothing hands. Cleansed and barefaced, I'm ready for the works. A delightful moment of massage prepares my pores for the main event.
Now I'll start with Dead Sea mask.
Ooh, it feels quite odd. It's quite cool.
Gradually and rather weirdly, my face is encased in a thin shield of mud.
So I'll cover your eyes, okay?
Okay. So this is just rest and relaxation.
So you feel comfortable? Are you okay?
I'm very comfortable. I'm very happy.
Encased in a facial cast of mud, doing whatever it is that Dead Sea mud does to the skin, my mind is free to wander. Will they save the Dead Sea? Will there be falafel for dinner? How is Hanan getting on? Ah, it looks like she's perfectly salted and ready to be basted with mud. Ooh, that looks good. Maybe I should have had my legs done too. All too soon, Sonny returns, and it's time to emerge from my semi-comatose state of relaxation. Will I be able to spot the difference?
Oh, it's all hard. That is so Oh! Did you just peel it away?
Removing the mud is a more fiddly job, but Sonny's gentle ministrations are as soothing as ever. I think I can sense a difference already.
Can I just have a poke at my skin? Oh, my skin feels very, very smooth. Isn't that good?
You look more younger now.
Oh, more young. Well, I can do with that. I guess I shall have to come every week.
Yes.
Take me back.
One last quick stroke and we're done.
Okay. So your face was done?
Oh, I bet you hardly recognise me, do you? No, new woman. Thank you very much. I'm going to make a date for next week as well, and the week after, and the week after. It's a long way to come, but worth it.
Yes.
Thank you.
With a pleasure.
That was just fabulous. And it looks like Hanan is enjoying it every bit as much. Getting her out of here is going to be hard work. I think we're both going to need a trusty pick-me-up after all this hedonism.
Sophie, this is how you make real Arabic coffee. You take a della.
That's called a della.
Absolutely. And for each cup of coffee, you take 1 heaped tablespoon of coffee, and then you take 1 full cup of water to the rim to allow for vapor.
1 cup of coffee.
Ah, sorry about that. Okay, we'll go put another heaped teaspoon.
And then did you say you wanted
Another.
a
Absolutely.
cup of coffee up to the brim?
Up to the brim, straight in
Do
there.
you know that coffee smells really, really interesting?
Well, that's because it has cardamom in it. And it's
That's what it is.
absolutely gorgeous. And 2 teaspoons of sugar in here. You shake it really well.
Right.
And then you put that on the stove. And you wait for it to rise. And you keep stirring, and you need to watch it really carefully because it will rise very quickly. As it rises,
When you say it rises,
it comes to the boil, basically.
soon the scent of freshly brewed, cardamom-laced coffee is wafting around us.
It's the way we mix it. We blend it with various different herbs, especially cardamom. That's what real Arabic coffee is about. What you normally do is you take the foam at the top, and you put that in each cup, and then you pour the coffee.
That's gorgeous, and it smells
Absolutely delightful.
It smells so fragrant.
It's a good digestive. You always have Arabic coffee after dinner. It makes you feel better and it mixes things up. The very best part of this is you stir it really well, just like that.
It's a little swirling round.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you put your cup on top of it.
Yes.
And then hold really tight and flip. Ooh. This is the way to tell what's going to happen to you in the next month or so.
Wow.
So what you
Fortune
do-
telling.
Absolutely. So we can have a sneak preview. Just a sneak preview. Look, it's beginning to solidify. Do you see? You can see lots and lots of different.
Oh, look at that.
You can see open jars, open paths. You've got a huge, big passageway here. If you look at the outside of the cup, a lot of people tell you things like you've got little birds, little fishes, and things like that.
Okay, so let's
Wow,
look at what
your
I've
cup
got a
is
huge
exciting.
cup, and it's quite okay. Tell me what that
Oh
means.
my God, I have no idea. But
Come
there
on,
are
you can't tell me you have no idea. I think that looks like the clouds are going to part. The clouds are going to move to one side. And look, there is sunshine just creeping in. It's quite floral as well.
Yes.
So we're going to see some lovely trees and
Yes.
a garden.
Yes.
Maybe. You never know. Suitably fortified, Hanan and I head off to our appointment with the producer of one of Jordan's most indispensable ingredients. Manaseer Food Group is run by General Manager Youssef Barjakli, and we're meeting him at their olive mill on the outskirts of Amman. Here we're going to sample a selection of their Terra Rossa olive oils, but to show them off at their best, we also need some freshly baked bread. The factory has its own bread oven, and the staff are dab hands at rustling up manakish. Thin circles of bread dough have their edges pinched together, then are filled with different toppings. This is zeytin za'atar, olive oil and a blend of herbs, and this is a local cheese. The manakish are baked in an oven powered by fast-burning, compressed olive husks, the debris left behind after oil extraction. Oh, so tempting, but still too hot to eat. While they cool, Youssef runs through the Manaseer pressing process.
Where we're standing here, we called it the olive yard. We receive the olives from the farmers here in the olive yard. We put in the olive hopper, and the first stage is washing. We take it through the elevator to the washing machine where we wash the olives very well. After that, we crush the olives using the stone crusher. After crushing, we take it to the malaxing stage where we keep for around 25 minutes just to allow time for the oil to escape from the paste. After that, we drop the paste into the sinolia stage where thousands of blades extracts around 5% of the oil in the paste.
Hold on. There's a word I really don't know there. That's sinolia.
Yeah. Sinolia.
I've never heard that.
Well, sinolia is the name of the technology. If you imagine the olive, it consists of solid material, water and oil. So if you dip in the paste, this stainless steel will take only a drop of oil with it. And this is in a principle how the machine works.
So what you're getting there is really the very first, very purest olive oil with the least work happening.
Yes.
Can we taste the best olive oil here?
Yes, of course. We have two kinds of oil here. We have one infused lemon, and the other one, the black bottle, is the sinolia.
I recommend we try the sinolia first. By the way, the reason it's in dark bottles is to protect it as well.
Yes.
Because of course light affects olive oil, doesn't it?
Yes.
By the way, one of the positive aspects and quality aspects of the oil is the smell of the oil. You can smell the green fruit, by the way.
Absolutely.
And it's called the fruitness for the oil. If an oil does not have this kind of smell, it will not be classified as extra virgin.
Because of course the extra virgin classification is partly about acidity, but also about the quality, isn't it?
About the taste and smell, yes.
Lots and lots of parameters.
Yeah.
Acidity is only one of them. A lot of people get confused.
Yeah.
Sometimes the peroxide level is even more important than the acidity because that determines how long it will last once you open the bottle.
True.
But that sounds scary. Peroxide,
Okay.
instantly you start thinking about hair dyes, right? Anyway, can we taste this?
Yeah,
Should I just
okay.
rip a piece of
of manakish?
This is the one with the za'atar.
Yes. This has olive oil and za'atar on top.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh my God. Do you know,
Yes, it is. Thank you very much, by the way.
this is an extraordinary oil, and I have to say, I thought perhaps it was a little bit of hype. You can get extra special, extra virgin oil, but it is some of the best oil I've ever tasted. It is so green and fruity, there's a little hint of bitterness. It's just wonderful. It's just absolutely wonderful. Could we try the lemon one?
Yeah.
We use the highest quality oil to make the infused oil. This is, for example, it's the lemon infused.
The real reason why this is so special is because this is made from infusing the sinolia with real fruits, real fresh herbs or fruits. That's why, because the fresh fruit and herbs give you much more flavor than just a dry herb.
Yeah, true.
Quite surprising, I think, to get an infused oil that's made with really high quality oil. Often infused oils are made with the not very good oil to disguise.
It's true. Actually, that's what we thought at the beginning. But apparently the fact is different. No, you have to use a very high quality oil so that you will not contaminate the taste of the infusion.
Okay. Well, it works. It absolutely works, and that is just lovely.
It's perfect.
I can think
It's
of so many
amazing.
ways to use that. Maybe just drizzled over fish, or in a
Or
dressing.
salads, or
You can make a pudding with it as well. I love that lemon flavour. It's very
It
true.
is actually. Yeah.
Very, very good. Oh, what a feast. I'm going to have another piece before we go, if I may. Reluctantly abandoning the remaining bread and oil, we quit the urban suburbs of Amman in search of somewhere more remote and really rather surreal. fantastic. But I forgot to bring my swimming costume, and Hanan forgot to bring her swimming costume, and we really feel stupid standing here like this. But despite that, it is gorgeous. The water is really, really warm. These are natural hot springs, aren't they?
Absolutely.
What's the name?
Hammamat Ma'in.
Hammamat Ma'in. What does that mean?
Hammamat is bath, Ma'in, the name of the place.
That makes sense. And it is just all geothermal heat, isn't it? Just welling up from down below.
Yeah.
Why do people come here? Do they just come because it's fun?
These are healing waters. They've got amazing amounts of minerals, and it's the second best thing after the Dead Sea, really. And everybody comes here. These are public baths.
Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? But what is extraordinary is that this is all absolutely natural. Not the pool, but the actual waterfall. Not heated by anything except for nature. And I only wish, Hanan, that we had our swimming costumes and that we could go and sit right underneath the hot
I want to be there.
And you know I'm going to feel like a gazelle when I get out. A gazelle from the knees downwards. These springs have drawn in visitors for centuries, and the most famous of these was King Herod, or Herod the Great. This is an area he knew well. He built a fortress not too far away from the hot springs, perched on the summit of a high hill. Mukawir is said to be the place where John the Baptist was beheaded. After being enthralled by his stepdaughter Salome's dancing, Herod Antipas, that's the son of the great Herod, vowed to grant her anything she desired. The queen, who had a long-standing grudge against John the Baptist, persuaded Salome to ask for the head of the saint on a charger. Proof positive that children shouldn't always get what they demand. The ebbing light creates a panorama of unimaginable splendour up here amongst the high peaks. If we're quick, we may just have time to conjure up a bite to eat down in one of the olive groves that supply the Manaseer oil mill. Now that we've seen where the olive oil is actually made, we've come to the most important place of all, which is the olive grove. And isn't this beautiful in the late afternoon sun? Absolutely gorgeous. And we're going to make something that goes very well with olive oil. It's very simple to make and is, I think I'm right in saying, a pretty essential part of the Jordanian diet.
Absolutely. Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Good. And it's about the one thing that I know how to make. It's called Labneh, and it's a strained yogurt. Strained yogurt?
Yes.
Strained yogurt, that'll do.
Strained yogurt.
So I'm going to do the bit I know, and then you're going to show me where to go from there. A colander, very fine colander from the local supermarket, and a cloth there, and then we've got a large tub of yogurt, and this is kind of the minimum amount you need.
Yes.
Preferably, I suspect, a lot more.
Because it has a lot of water in it, so you need quite large quantities of it.
So this just goes into tea cloth or tea towel, and then what you do, and this is where it gets fun, you just gather up the edges of the cloth and you tie a piece of string tightly around there to hold them together, and then you hang this up over the sink, hang it over your bath, or just over a big bowl, whatever, and then you leave it until the yogurt has really condensed to quite a thick state. But today I've been rather creative, I think, because I don't have a bath handy, and instead I've hung my Labneh to strain from the branches of an olive tree. It's cute.
Brilliant idea.
My trophy. Now, let's see. And whether it's thick enough. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's very good.
So you can see that's already got quite a sort of firm shape to it.
Yeah.
And that's just because all that water has been drained off. So that's my bit done. Now, Hanan, can you explain to me what you would normally do with this now and when you'd eat it?
If you're planning to eat Labneh straight away, then this is how you serve it. Basically, what I'm trying to do is put a little well on the inside. And so that's what you do. And get a good quality olive oil and pour it all around it. Usually we sprinkle something that adds a little flavour to the Labneh, and you can either have a bit of chili or any one of these three
Can we have a
herbs.
bit of the sumac? Or is that too
Absolutely.
sour for it?
No, not at all. I think I'll put a little bit of sumac all over.
Now that's this lovely sour, kind of lemony taste,
Yes,
very
it's
fruity taste
it's
and
a
spice.
It's a citrus berry, and it's in almost all of our food. And you take a piece of bread and you dig it.
Just do it like this?
Absolutely. With your hands. There's no better way of eating than with your hands.
That's lovely. Sorry, what wonderful Labneh I make.
Brilliant.
And what a beautiful way you have of displaying it. Now what are we going to do with what we've got left?
We're going to
Put
try
it over there.
and preserve it. And we preserve it usually in olive oil. So you cover your hand with olive oil, so it's quite nice and slippery.
It's very good for your skin, isn't it?
Absolutely. And you take a little bowl and you try and make it as spherical as you can. So basically the olive oil helps not have your hands sticky all over.
And now, what am I going to do with my nice, smooth, sticky ball?
You can either just put it in a jar full of olive oil, or you can, before you do that, you can actually just cover it in any one of these.
Ooh, how nice. These being the sumac we saw earlier, dukkha, a mixture of coriander and sesame seeds, and za'atar, a blend of wild thyme, sesame and sumac. We'd go on making these balls, and then what would we do with them?
In order for this to last for a good few months, you get a jar, you put the Labneh in the jar in olive oil, and that's it. That's as simple as that. It lasts forever and ever.
While we've been rolling our yoghurt, Yusuf has been busy inspecting the olive trees. Job done, and he's ready to sample our handiwork. See what you think. Olive Grove Labneh.
Yes.
They look so delicious, by the way. Amazing. They are so amazing, honestly.
I'm just going to check it out too. Make sure Hanan's not leading me astray. It is just wonderful. The olive oil just harnesses together all those other flavours. And I think really that's perhaps the essence of Jordanian cooking. Wonderful olive oil in a wonderful place like this. No better way to make friends. As the sun sets over Jordan, Hanan and I pack up our bowls and head for the hotel. But haven't we forgotten something? Of course! They say that it's impossible to sink in the Dead Sea, and Hanan is determined to prove them wrong. Keep on trying, Hanan!